All right, Dropkick Murphys. 12 or so hours removed from what might have been AEW's hottest pay-per-view so far this year. No, I mean, we know it was. It wasn't a question of might have been. Double or Nothing 2024 delivered. This is Dropkick the Commute, of course, but we, for the first time, have a guest. And his name is WuuRmY of Galeer Championship Wrestling fame, and that's all we know him
Hello,
from, actually.
it's me. I jumped out of the video game and I'm real.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm coming to your house.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Well, we had a super fun and a super long night, as we predicted. The pay-per-view went from, if we count the pre-show, it went from 6:30 to 12:30.
Yeah.
And it
It
was
certainly did.
long. I was like, I wouldn't say I was checked out by 10 p.m., but I was fighting for my life.
It certainly lasted forever, and
And I was,
it wasn't bad at all. I
Mm-mm.
was never once like, oh, this is stupid. Like, skip this one. No,
Yeah, this show sucks.
I absolutely loved all 6 hours of it, even the pre-show, because we were making fun of Jeff Jarrett the whole time. So
Oh, that was fun. There were definitely a couple decisions that it was like, okay, I'm not 100% behind this, but then some crazy shit happens, and I'm like, okay, I remember
It
why
makes
I
up
like
for it.
AEW again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they never. I feel like they never really miss with the pay-per-views. I feel like they're
No.
pretty like, they go all out for them, and like they
do. That's in
You know,
September. Get it? Because you
Okay.
said all out.
Yeah.
Get it? AEW all
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I get it.
Get it?
You know, their product has been. I feel like it's been getting better. We're not
Yeah.
there yet, but then when the pay-per-views happen, it's like we get a nice little high of like what it used to be or what it could be again.
Yeah, it's true, because like there could be like 3 or 4 dynamites in a row where you watch them and you're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, it is what it is. But then the pay-per-view hits and you're like, okay, AEW's good. Like, I feel like every pay-per-view, like you said, it just is this little high, and they're always good. I can't think of a bad one.
So I haven't watched like weekly AEW for about like 2 years now, and I catch the occasional pay-per-view. So like for me, it was kind of weird seeing seeing Thunder Rosa like in the pre-card,
Yeah.
because I had no idea that she got injured in the first place.
Well, yeah, like
And
you said,
when
2
did that
years
happen?
ago.
Yeah,
2 years ago,
And
it was right
she
when
was
the
on
CM
top of
Punk
the
stuff
world.
happened. Right when the
okay.
the press conference, and so that happened, and he was injured, so he had to vacate the world title, and then she got injured, so she had to vacate the world title. We had 2 new world champions that both just had to fucking
Yeah.
vacate the championship. She had a match with Toni Storm last month at the last pay-per-view, but it was a good match, but she didn't win. A lot has changed, and a lot is going to change after tonight.
Very much so. We had a ton of matches, 2 matches in the pre-show, and then we had 10 matches on the main card. First, we had Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa, like you said, in the pre-card. I mean, I don't really have any thoughts about it. It just sucks to see Thunder Rosa in the pre-card,
It really does.
and Deonna Purrazzo went over.
And also seeing her just fucking covered in KT tape.
Yeah, her whole
that.
shoulder,
Yeah,
dude.
Whole shoulder,
Like,
her opposite arm's elbow, just fucking. She looked like a package. I'm not gonna lie. Like
She's also
it was
doing
bad,
the whole
dude.
Was
It
she
was
dressed like
bad.
Elvis? She's like a, what do they call it? When they come to your door and they like sing for you.
Like a singogram or whatever. Singing
Yeah,
telegram.
Yeah, exactly. With KT tape.
Yeah,
No,
it was just.
I'm sad that Thunder Rosa, this is where she is after basically like being in a main event last month, and
She was a money printer
so many
for
years
so
before.
long, dude.
yeah, and now she no longer prints any money. She's ran out of ink, if you will.
Oh god.
But like you can tell, there were like flashes last night, definitely where you could tell like it was like prime Thunder Rosa, but she's still holding back because the narrative, I'm assuming
Yeah.
kayfabe wants her to hold back.
Second match on the pre-show, we had the Acclaimed defeating the Cage of Agony. It was a pretty normal like trios match. And then we had the Las Vegas Golden Knights mascot come out.
Hockey snake.
Yes.
Totally forgot about the hockey snake.
Yeah. And
With a metal pipe, right?
yeah, well, the machine tried to use a chair, and then the mascot took the chair, stopped him, and then Billy Gunn won. But he was holding up a metal pipe. He like took away a metal pipe and was like, ah.
I love
Man.
it. Yeah,
So-
it's fun.
Saved by the
It's like
Golden Knights.
a good way to get the crowd, get the crowd going. Just like the opening match of the actual show, which was Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay for the International Championship.
Yeah.
Holy shit! What a way to fucking open the show.
That was
up.
crazy. And so Will Ospreay gets the dub. He is the international champion now. And we both were talking about how if Roddy loses, Undisputed Kingdom's done. And Roddy lost, Undisputed Kingdom is fucking done, dude. I don't know what else they have. Now that Adam Cole's back, but he didn't even come out with them.
It was like a new segment he came
Yeah.
out right after, and like it didn't even feel like it was a return.
He
hasn't been
felt
around since the last
separate
pay-per-view.
from them. Like,
And
already.
I feel like people didn't react like when he came out. Like I feel like it was
No.
just kind of like, oh, Adam Cole's here, but like he's
Well,
back.
'cause I think another thing with Adam Cole too is he's very injury prone. So this happens a lot, and I think at this
Well,
point,
it happened at a terrible time.
Yeah, and I think at like this point, wrestling fans are kind of like, come on, man. Can you just get like better, please?
Get
Yeah.
better, get better, and stop coming back
Can
sporadically.
you not be made of glass anymore? Like,
For real.
because watching Adam Cole wrestle is phenomenal. He puts his all into
Yeah.
literally every single match he's in. And then he just goes, well, but I mean, that's probably why he gets injured so much.
Osprey match was really good. There was a bit where he hit the Os cutter on Roderick Strong, and they had to have like all the doctors checking up on him. It happened. Same thing happened last pay-per-view with the Tiger Driver, and then he like felt so bad he was like, I'm gonna retire the Tiger Driver. So I thought for a second the bit was gonna be that like his moves just keep like injuring people, and so he's in the corner and he's like freaking out. Don Callis takes off the headset, goes up to him, and he goes, hit the Tiger Driver. Do the Tiger Driver on him. I don't care if you retired it. Fucking break his neck. And then he's like, fuck. He's like banging his head against the turnbuckle. And then he goes to do it. And then, he second guesses it and then eventually does, what is it called? Stormbreaker?
Yeah,
Is that
Stormbreaker.
the other move?
Yeah.
And he wins with that, which is crazy. But then, yeah, we're just like, the kingdom is question
Done for.
mark.
Can we also talk about Will Ospreay falling directly on his fucking head
Yep,
outside
Oh
the
my
ring,
God.
dude?
that was insane.
They did a whole bit where he was on Roddy's shoulders. The ref was distracted, so I think it was Matt Taven did a dive over the ropes, but he kind of did a flop dollar.
Yeah.
Where he like tripped on the ropes.
Yeah.
And then so he also like landed terribly, and then Ospreay like, this is one of those situations where you shouldn't tuck your chin, but he tucked his chin and he like landed on his neck, and it was
It was
I don't
so
know how
rough.
It was very scary.
I don't know how he survived.
Yeah, we were looking, even commentary, they were like, holy shit. Like, he literally landed on his head. Like, there's no, like,
It completely ground the match to a halt.
it really did. I don't know if they, like, checked on him real quick and were like, yo, you good? Like, he fucking landed
Yeah.
on the top of his head, and it was very scary. It was a scary moment.
Yeah,
But
man.
no matter. Will Ospreay
Yeah.
goes over, wins the
Will
match.
Ospreay is Will Ospreay. He
Yeah.
is he is Britain's #1 man.
Yep.
He's cheeky Nando's #1 man.
He really is. He's got to get that Nando's sponsorship like immediately. It's a crime that he doesn't have one yet.
He's got to get a Nando's sponsorship, and he's got to retire Billy Gunn. So Adam Cole came out, and he was like, I honestly, whatever promo he had was overshadowed, because I don't remember a goddamn thing he was talking about.
Yeah.
I don't either.
He pulled out the devil mask and was like, oh, you asked for the devil, you're gonna get it. And then that's all I remember from it.
It was all a blur. The
Yeah.
lights go out, or something comes up on the screen. We get Hardcore Henry, the sequel. It's
Yeah.
this like first person view of someone going through like MJF's like memorabilia, and then he grabs the scarf, and then he grabs a photo of Adam Cole that's torn, and then he gets the other half and puts them side by side, and it's MJF and Adam Cole. Lights go out. MJF is back. We were screaming, we were hollering,
It was
we were
Like,
insane.
hooting.
yeah.
He was
Oh my
he
God.
was way too tan. He was wearing Triple H's fucking like denim jacket
So
and leather
good, man.
vest combo.
With like a big like cat patch on the back or something, like
Yeah,
a
dude,
panther
he
or
was-
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
and
looked so sick.
him and Adam Cole face to face in the ring, and Adam Cole is like, bringing it. Adam Cole's like, yeah, give me a hug, and MJF's like, yeah, going for the hug, and just fucking kicks him in the nuts.
Yeah. It was so good.
Beautiful.
He kicks him in the nuts. He goes to like suplex him, and then he says, "Get out of my ring, you noodle-armed, bobble-headed son of a bitch." And he also said that he can suck a big old bag of donkey dicks. He also said that too.
Oh, and I think for the first time in wrestling history, we got a donkey dick chant.
Yeah.
We did.
I don't
We
think
did
that's
indeed
ever
get a
happened.
donkey dick chant.
He's just a star to build around. Like he was when he was, on AEW every week. I feel like once he wasn't, I feel like when it started to
Yeah, it
die
started to
down.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's back, and like people love him, and he's still babyface. It looks like, so that's really cool.
Yeah, he kicks Adam Cole out of the ring, and then he takes the mask and he does like the Ric Flair fucking elbow drop
yeah.
onto the mask.
That was so good.
That
And
was
then
nice.
the big point is he goes, "I know you fucking dumb marks are wondering about my contract," and then he lifts up his pant leg, and he's got an AEW
Cameraman,
tattoo.
zoom in on my leg.
Yeah, and it says "Bet on yourself," and he goes, "I'm not fucking going anywhere." So
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
is a AEW brand poker chip, if
Yeah.
I'm also not mistaken.
it is.
Crazy.
So that's pretty
He said,
gnarly.
I'm not fucking going anywhere. I'm not fucking leaving.
Incredible return. It made it so good.
It was so nice.
Then we had the Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle. Glare, how do you feel about their name officially being the Bang Bang Gang?
I think it's a little silly, but I guess it fits. I like Bullet Club Gold better personally, but again, Bullet Club is just like, I feel like Bullet Club at this point is like an umbrella term to
Yeah.
describe like, there's fucking how many iterations of Bullet Club Gold? They have Bullet Club Gold. They have Bullet Club and fucking Impact. They got the OC and Luke Gallows and Anderson and AJ Styles, and then they got like, in the actual Bullet Club in New Japan, and then these guys, and so I guess Bang Bang Gang is a little more
Fitting.
it's fitting for like their gimmick and their like attitude, I guess, and they put on a really good match against Death Triangle. I always love the Lucha Brothers, and I love Pac, and
Yeah.
I want to see Pac and Jay White mix it up so bad.
I've never really seen the Death Triangle. Like this is probably my first time actually like seeing them in action. Again, I talked about how one of my first matches I saw was the Lucha Bros winning the tag titles at All Out or
Steel
whatever.
Cage.
Yeah, Steel Cage. But I've never seen like the Death Triangle, so it was very cool to see them in action. And they did like this fucking three-way like triangle drop kick where he's
It was so
in the middle
cool.
of the ring, and all three of them fucking drop kicked his head at the same time.
Oh yeah, they went like 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah.
And then they fucking, it was so good.
Yeah, so that was crazy.
They're just like they're all like fast and like in sync, and like Pac is he's so fucking yoked, but he's so fast.
Yeah.
And finally, after like 6-7 months, which is crazy, it's been this long, Juice Robinson is back to save the day, distract everybody, and fucking get help Bullet or the Bang Bang Gang get
Help Bullet Club.
the WC. I can't. I'm just so used to it. They pushed the name for so long,
Yeah.
and now we're just flipped. I know it had to do with like the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, and that didn't even last that long. So
Yeah.
Juice Robinson's back. Juice Robinson's fucking crazy. Married to Tony Storm. So
Come on. I didn't know this.
I just think about how like what kind of insane asylum that house is like. You know, they're just like they're both crazy, but yeah, Juice looked insane as always, and it was a nice little trios match. I knew it was gonna be a good match because Death Triangle's great and the Guns are great too, and Jay White. So
yeah,
they retain the championships. They're fucking like 9 belts or whatever.
yeah, it's
Which
so
they don't
crazy.
need that many belts. What? So it's the Ring of Honor, right? The Ring of Honor trios titles, and then the AEW original like design, and then they also are carrying around the Acclaims like design of the belts, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but they're the unified trios tag team champions. But like,
They
really,
can get rid of that set of belts.
They
They don't.
can.
Need, they had a wagon to carry all their belts last week on Dynamite.
Yeah.
They were
Oh,
they
that's
were
phenomenal.
wheeling around a wagon.
they had like these sticks, and they had them all hanging on the sticks. After that, we had the Tony Storm and Serena Deeb match. Of course, no surprise, Tony Storm retains. But
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah,
very banger match. It was good stuff. Serena Deeb was looking, she was looking like powerful. She was shitting on Tony for a little bit.
Well, you see, Luther, the butler, almost threw in the towel for Tony Storm, and then I think Mariah May stopped him and was like, "What are you doing?" Like,
Yeah,
stop.
Mariah May stopped
And then-
her, and then Tony took the towel and threw it into the crowd, and
Yeah,
like,
and she was like, "What the hell are you doing? You're gonna quit for me? That's fucked up."
Yeah.
And then, I don't remember again specific points, but what I do remember is there was a Storm Zero pile driver from the top rope.
yeah,
She
To win the
fucking
whole thing.
pile drove Serena Deeb from the top rope, and then wasn't it? She got her up for another one immediately after, and just like fucking stuck
Yeah.
a nail in it and won the match. It was
insane.
It was so sick.
It's so funny too, because like her character is just like not like she does the little Hollywood like vignettes, and
Yeah.
it's very just like, yeah, she's whatever. She's an actress in Hollywood. She's not a wrestler, and then she comes out and just like kicks ass,
Yeah,
and it's so good. And also the problem we've been running into is like, is she a baby face or is she a heel? But I think she's like established like a baby face herself as a baby face from this match. Just the crowd has decided it. And I think it was originally supposed to be a heel gimmick, but everyone she's gone up against who's supposed to be a baby face, and I think Serena Deeb's included because she had that whole promo talking about like her near-death experience with like seizures and stuff like that. Like that was supposed to be like heartwarming and like push her as a babyface, but people just keep cheering.
yeah, the crowd did
"Tony,
not care.
Tony,
Yeah,
Tony."
She's just
Dude,
so
they were
over.
booing Serena Deeb. That they have made their choice, and you know, I think that's fine. Tony Storm can be a babyface. This character works both ways.
yeah, it really does. And she, as long as she keeps doing this character, she's going to be a babyface for a long time because the crowd is so behind her. And
Until Mariah May.
yeah,
Until that.
until
that match
Mariah May takes the title from her, and then we're
You
gonna
think
see
she's
what
gonna take it
happens.
from her?
Eventually,
I know you love her.
maybe she could.
I
I,
know you
certainly would not
love
be
Mariah
angry.
May.
Mommy
Mufussy's got a
Mariah.
crush.
Triple M, they say.
He's got a.
Mommy Mariah May.
Yeah, who says that? You?
Yeah.
They say it. I didn't make it up.
They call her the. Ow, fuck. Ow. I just pinched something.
Oh my god.
I'm never doing the Trump voice again.
He's never doing the Trump get. I almost did not just
What
say
is
something
going
there.
on today? None
I
of
don't
us can
know. Oh
function.
my god.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
the-
that
it's the
pay-per-view
Trump
went till
impression.
12:30.
Because I'm just
Okay,
still
talk about
thinking
that.
about Mariah May. So yeah, banger match. Tony retains, no surprise, obviously. And then we had the learning tree.
Oh,
I love it, dude. He fucking came out on the screen and said, "For the world champion, 36 days." On the
Oh, that
fucking
was
screen,
phenomenal.
and I was cackling, dude. It's so good.
Also,
I-
they gave him the most insane amount of pyro.
They
For
did.
really did.
It was obnoxious.
It was a full fireworks display essentially. But you know, can Chris Jericho fucking like stop wrestling for a second and just be a promoter or something? He's so good at like being a personality,
Yeah.
but
He is.
his age is starting to show His age is really starting to show.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
it
Like he
is-
needs to. He could easily like fit into like a manager role.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be so good.
Even as the learning tree, he could.
Especially as this fucking
Exactly.
gimmick.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
talking all this shit and stuff, and so he could get to this point where he's talking all this shit, but not actually wrestling, but still like doing the same gimmick, and it would work the same.
It would also be a very good bit for him to lose it and be like, you know, when I was champion, and like,
Right.
Yeah,
even if
yeah,
it's like, it'd just be like a whole like 40 days or whatever.
yeah.
And
He could be
he could
like,
still be
as,
like,
the,
I was the
as the
longest.
former longest reigning for the world champion, you should
Yeah.
do this, like, you know.
I'm very I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that he retained. I think this is gonna keep going, but I guess we can talk about that, right? It was a good match, and then I think we were at a point at the end where Hook and Shibata both had a hold on him,
Yeah.
like in a submission hold,
Yep.
which is also how they were put into this match. And so you and I, we were like, not again, like, because
Yeah.
this keeps happening this week, double submission
It does.
victories. And then a masked person comes in and, you know, just fucks shit up and beats on Shibata, beats on Hook. We get the mask taken off. It's the bounty hunter, Brian Keith,
Yeah.
who was the one that didn't get put in this match because he was the one getting double submission holded. And he helps Jericho win the title, and he pins Shibata while Shibata's got a trash can over him.
Yeah,
Yep.
which was really good. So he's just laying there.
Oh,
He can't kick
I-
out. Yeah. The
I
other
totally forgot, too, the
Yeah,
Big Bill thing.
Yeah, Big Bill comes out. Big Bill comes out to interfere, and they're doing their whole thing.
Redwood.
Big Bill's a massive fucking dude. He's so
Gigantic.
big. And he goes onto the apron with Hook. Hook puts him through a table, and the man almost gets impaled, bro. The table leg is
Yeah,
just
yeah, the-
sitting straight up like this.
The
and he
table leg
landed
did
right
not
here
fold.
at
The
all.
table leg did not fold. It just went. It just stayed.
Yeah.
It stayed vertical.
If he was like an inch to the left, he would have fucking
Yeah,
got hurt real
What
bad.
happened?
It would have been awful.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
insane
I
to
don't think
see
that
live.
I've ever seen that with the table.
Me neither. The whole, like, it wasn't even, it just broke weird. Like, that stayed straight up, and then everything, like, went down. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, the side came off completely, and then, yeah, everything else just crumbled. And this one was still attached to the leg, but this one just fucking, oh, it was so
It was
crazy
like
to
a
see.
Full, it was like a full structural collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the dude is
Also,
so
just the
fucking
fact that-
massive that it didn't even matter if the table was scored properly or not. He just fucking whoosh,
Right.
Also, just the fact
straight
that
gravity.
that Hook is able to just like
Casually
T-bone
throw
him.
Big Bill. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like insane. Hook. Someone commented on a video and they were like, "It looks like Hook hasn't been like pumping the iron in training." And I
Yeah,
was
I'm like, what are you talking about? He
cares?
just
He-
threw
well,
Big
yeah,
Bill from fucking.
yeah, like cooked.
It was.
It cooked.
Yeah. We also got another fun spot in this match where we've had a recurring theme of Jericho pulling out a bag from under the ring, and today, this time, it was dice. So
Yep.
fitting with the Double or Nothing theme, and he empties all the dice onto the ring, and they do their thing with that. But that was another little fun spot. But overall, very entertaining match. Jericho going over, I think it's still, I think it works for right now. We'll see how long it goes with it, but I don't know. I do want someone else to get it, whether it be Hook or someone else. Like, obviously, I think Hook
Yeah, I don't-
getting it back would work, but I don't know. He was FTW champion for
Hook's-
so long. It's like,
Yeah.
pass it around a little.
Let's rehash Jack Perry and Hook. That would be good.
That would be fun.
They did a really good job with that. I always forget Jack Perry had that championship for a minute.
Yeah.
I think for the foreseeable future, it's going to be Jericho, though. I don't want to say he's elevating it, but he's definitely giving it some relevance because, we are talking about it. And
Yeah.
as much as I
And we've been
don't
talking
like
about
him,
Jericho every week.
he's literally like he's such a constant.
It's
crazy.
true. Then our next match, we had John Moxley and Takeshita. So good, dude. I don't have.
It should have just been for the championship.
It should have. It should have just been for the championship, but it's the IWGP, so it's like, okay, maybe they have to do it on New Japan, but or wait till Forbidden Door.
I mean, they did a bunch of stuff years back with their US championship.
Yeah.
They would have matches for it on Dynamite and like matches where the title would change hands. Like, so,
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a world title. Takeshita threw Moxley around. It was nuts.
So Moxley had a broken arm. I don't know if it was actually probably not actually broken.
I think he
but,
tore something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
So, his arm was the story of the match, and it was just Takeshita just beating the shit out of it. Like, the whole time.
Yeah.
Fucking take Mox's arm, and he, like, just wrapped it around the ropes so many times and just banged on it.
Takeshita's great at working heel. Like, I don't know, because he looks mean, and he's big, and he's just very imposing, and he's with Don Callis, who, again, I don't know what's going on with Don Callis and the heels and the baby faces. It was a good match for John Moxley, and I also just like, for some reason I keep thinking back to when he faced Kenny Omega. He beat Kenny Omega twice in 1 week. That was like the big story back in like All In, All Out, 2 pay-per-views in a row. They were on to something with like giving him, like pushing him, because he beat Kenny Omega, and like he's winning these big matches on these big stages, and then again, AEW just has this problem with not like striking when the iron's hot.
Yeah,
like,
they wait like a little too long,
and then they lose it. They wait too long, and then Takeshita's like, off TV, or he's in a match that like doesn't really matter. So they need to get better at just like, catching that and then running with it.
Yeah,
Moxley won this one, right?
Moxley won, yeah. And actually, we had Takeshita do Moxley's move on him, so we thought that was going to be it.
Yeah.
Again, it should have just been for the title, because if you have Moxley winning anyway,
it also ties into their whole championship problem. So it's like, how much does it matter? They probably could have just had a singles match. Like, if it were a singles match and John Moxley wasn't the champion, it's still pretty big. But then, if you're gonna have him win anyways, just have it be for the championship, or like I don't know if he's got something going on with anyone in New Japan that they're like building to.
Yeah.
But like even have like some appearance from that. I don't know.
Before this match, I actually skipped one. Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy. Completely forgot about it.
Also a good match.
It was a good match, yeah. I just apparently forgot to write anything about it.
Challenge him to a straight up wrestling match, and we thought it was gonna not be that, and it was. He delivered on his promise. I had to break the sad news to Noah that the best friends are no longer
best friends. No more friends, just me.
It was crushing. It was absolutely crushing. And then also seeing
Orange Cassidy's your favorite wrestler.
I love Orange Cassidy. I fucking love Orange Cassidy. I love his whole gimmick. I love his whole angle of just being like, not necessarily like, oh, I'm too cool for this shit, but just being like, your stereotypical like, relaxed,
his
nonchalant.
His indie gimmick before AEW was he was like a drunk.
Really?
Like that was and he was also from what I know, he was in a stable with Chucky T, and he was with Drew Gulak.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But before AEW, and then I think I won't say AEW made him, because I think he made definitely put him more on the map, and he started becoming more elevated with the gimmick and learning. But tiny note, his denim was a little darker.
He had dark denim.
And it's not intentional, right?
Right.
There's something. He's with Don Callis now. Don Callis is his manager. Something's got to give. I don't know if it's heel Orange Cassidy. I really don't know. And we got the dark denim, and we got Pixie's entrance music back. Which,
yeah.
What's interesting too, I don't know if there's like what the reason is behind switching him, because I feel like he's constantly doing new entrance themes.
It kind of goes into what we talked about with the Callis family, where like half of them are face, half of them are heel. Is this going to be like a full Orange Cassidy heel turn? Probably not. I don't think so, but I think we're going to start seeing like a more heel side of him.
Orange Cassidy did one of those pin reversals where he kind of like traps the legs.
Yeah.
The second it happens, AEW loves doing that. That's how they win. If you win by a roll up, that's how you're winning in AEW. It's like Darby Allin used to do it a lot. I forget what they called it, but like he would basically like arch his back like over their legs, and their legs are like all tangled, and it like makes sense that they can't get out of the pin. And you know,
it's like a good way to do a roll up.
It's a good way to do a roll up, because I hate roll up finishes. Like WWE used to do them so much. They still do them a lot. So it was a good match. And then afterwards, Renee tried interviewing Trent and was like, how do you feel? What's going through your head right now? And he's just like, I'm not fucking doing this. I'm done. Like, and then he just walks through
disappears into the fucking crowd.
Yeah. He walked through the crowd and left the arena. So is he all done wrestling?
Is he all done?
Like fucking Bigfoot, dude.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. He just hops the barrier and just away.
Yeah. I have a feeling maybe he's like gonna be off TV for a bit. I don't think he's like quitting per se.
Yeah.
But until they find some way to repackage him. And then also, we got a backstage segment from Don Callis where he said, I'm offering a new contract for the Don Callis family. Who's it going to be? I have no idea.
I also have no idea. Could be anybody at this point. Fucking Orange Cassidy's in the Don Callis family, so.
Yeah.
So I saw some people were saying it could be Trent, and I was like, that would be kind of counterproductive.
That'd be weird. Yeah.
Everything that's happening. At this point, it could be anyone, because we have such a hodgepodge of wrestlers that have no relation to each other. Hobbs, Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay's in there. So it could be anybody, and I guess we'll find out on Wednesday. This Dynamite's going to be really good. I have a really good feeling about it.
You know what else was really good? You like that one?
What's that?
Did you like that one?
Yeah. What, you want to say it?
The cage match between Adam Copeland and Malachi Black, baby.
Holy fucking shit.
Adam
That was insane.
So we had Malachi come out. He had like this cool, dark, like, usual House of Black entrance. And then we got Brood Edge, baby, coming out to fucking Slayer.
Yeah, and it even said the Brood on the Titantron.
Yeah. So he rises up out of the floor. There's fucking fire pyro everywhere. Like, we got a Brood Edge entrance again, and it was damn good. You can tell. So when he did the Brood entrance at WrestleMania 39, right? Like, even, I don't know if you guys watched, he did an interview the other day with Chris Van Vliet where he was talking about that Brood entrance, and he wanted Gangrel for that, and he like pitched all these ideas, and they like shut him down. This match was his fucking wet dream, dude. Like, he probably just pitched everything, and Tony Khan was like, yeah, go for it. Like, you can tell, like, he really, really loved doing this one. Right from the moment he comes up out of that elevator, dude, he's fucking hyped up. Like, this was his baby right here.
Yeah, it was, and we were saying that. We were saying that's how it was going to be. We had a moment too where they were on the outside fighting. I think they broke through the cage.
Yeah.
And Brody King and Buddy Matthews come out, and they're standing alongside Malachi Black, and they're staring at Edge, or they're staring at Adam, and then they switch sides, and they look at Malachi Black, and Malachi Black's like, what the fuck? And everyone's like, what? And it looked like they were about to turn, and then they just started beating on Adam Copeland. They teased the turn. It was so good.
It was really good. Before that, though, I do want to talk about like even the beginning of this match, right? Because out of the gate, they're fucking just going at it. They have like a little chair battle, and
Mhm.
the pacing is just fucking crazy. Like it's just fast right out of the gate.
Insane.
We get blood in probably the first 2 minutes. Like Adam just
they were
takes
both
Malachi with the barbed
bleeding
wire and just,
so fucking heavy, dude.
oh my god.
It was
Malachi was
so
spilling.
beautiful,
Yeah.
so bloody. There was a spot at one point where Edge or Adam Copeland, sorry, climbed all the way up to the very top of the cage and then just fucking jumps down onto his fucking feet
Yeah.
Yeah, he led with his feet.
hits, which was insane. I think like just as you were saying that he just straight up broke both of his ankles probably
It
doing
certainly
that or
looked
something.
like it. He fucking
Well, I
bent
think he
his
was
knees,
trying to
but I
do
was
it-
like, God damn. He was going for an
It
elbow
looked
drop.
like it was,
He was.
but it was like he didn't like. He just kind of went like this.
Yeah.
He didn't like go sideways. I don't know. It was,
Yeah.
but-
I mean,
I
I'm
mean, he
certainly
still
not.
cracked out.
I'm certainly not a professional. I don't know anything about it. He probably did it for a reason, but goddamn, it looked like it hurt, bro. On commentary, they were like, "Oh, he didn't do a full elbow drop because he didn't want to land on the barbed wire." Fucking, I'm sure it still is better than breaking your
right,
legs.
he wrapped him
Oh, yeah.
up.
Yeah, he wrapped him
Yeah, I
in the
forgot about
barbed
that.
wire. So that's what they said. But I was like, you know, again, I'm certainly not a professional. I'm not going to fucking judge how he did it, but it looked like it fucking hurt. So,
Yeah, dude.
and he went out limping at the end. So,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
like,
It did not look
dude,
great.
there was weapons hanging from the cage everywhere. We got one table spot where, so there was 2 tables in the cage. The first table they set up, they put near the ropes on the commentary side, and we had a little back and forth between Adam and Malachi, and eventually Malachi ends up doing like a sunset power bomb onto the table, and Adam pulled the barbed wire with him when he went down. I don't know if you guys saw that. So he
I
like
didn't.
pulls it down with him, and his hands get all fucking bloodied up, and that's the barbed wire he used to like wrap him up in it. But it was just like a fucking blood fest, and it was insane. And then after the outside portion, they fucking
Oh my God.
House of Black
they go back
takes
in.
Adam and wrap him in more barbed wire, give him a crown of thorns, like fucking Jesus.
Right in front of Jesus, who was in the crowd, mind you.
Yeah.
Like, that's so disrespectful.
Yeah. So he does that.
And then the fucking lights cut. And then fucking
Oh my-
Gangrel pops out of the fucking ring. I shit you not. Literally up through the canvas like a fucking groundhog. It just appears in the ring, spitting black mist everywhere, and like completely fucking turns the tide
Yeah.
for Adam
Dude,
Copeland.
he
It was
starts doing the-
insane.
He gets a DDT to Brody, DDT to Buddy Matthews. He's looking great. Gangrel's
It was
like
crazy.
That man can
60.
move.
Well, he's still like on the independents. Like he's hustling. Like
Yeah.
he has not stopped. When's the last time we saw something like that? Right?
It's been a while.
Like-
I,
Undertaker,
joking about it.
Kane, maybe.
yeah.
during the when MJF was like doing his promo, I made a joke like, "Oh, what is someone gonna come up through the ring or something?" And then lo
Right.
and fucking behold,
And it happened later.
it happened later.
Well, we
Granted,
never-
not MJF, but
The funniest part
Oh
about
my
that
God.
is I don't know if you caught it, but the moment that led to that was Malachi taking the spool of barbed wire, him stabbing the ring so that Gangrel can come up from the bottom of it.
God.
So he took that like iron thing and he stabbed it on the canvas and it fell over, and that's exactly the spot where Gangrel climbed up from.
And I think this. I also want to talk about the moment preceding Gangrel coming up too, because I just remembered back to it. Malachi sends one of the members of the House of Black, I forget who, to go grab that like triangle with wrapped in barbed wire or whatever.
Yeah.
or, like that angle.
Right.
And he walks over and he just like stops and he's like looking down at whatever. And then all of a sudden he just recoils back out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
I didn't know what
and
was
then
going
you just
on.
see the
when that
barbed
happened.
wire like triangle just start like moving and then fly up and over. And then all
It
of a
was so
sudden
good.
it's Gangrel.
Yeah,
Like,
it was so good. So then
dude,
Gangrel comes out, helps, does the fucking moves. That man can still move. He's crazy, and ends up we end up having Adam wrap Malachi in barbed wire and make him pass out, and that's how he wins. So Malachi doesn't tap, but he passes the fuck out.
He's still our TNT champion, and you said the stipulation from Collision was that they have to join him now?
Yeah, so on Collision, Adam did a promo where he was like, if I lose, I bend the knee to you, but what happens if you lose? So far, nothing, but if you lose, you guys have to join me. And he's like, House of Blood has a nice ring to it. So,
Ooh.
That's actually gonna go pretty.
Like
sweet.
yeah. So we had.
So then I wonder if they're
Adam
gonna be
win.
like, they're gonna be babyface now.
How do you make that baby face? Like, I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll see what happens.
Guess we'll find out on Dynamite.
Dynamite,
Start
baby.
watching-
You know what's
I gotta
crazy?
start watching Dynamite again, dude.
Yeah,
Honestly.
dude. It's
gonna get you back into
it's-
it.
Mm,
Honestly,
right.
watch Collision too if you have time, because Collision
Collision's
is
really good.
genuinely a good like show. Rampage, I don't give a fuck about, but Collision is really fun. A lot of the stories actually carry over between Dynamite. Rampage is just kind of like one-offs, like whatever.
Rampage doesn't
Is
matter.
Collision the Saturday show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Just like Double or Nothing, this podcast is carrying on forever, longer than usual. Double or Nothing, we still have 3 more matches.
Triple main event.
Our triple main event. I still hate it. Just say Anarchy's the main event. We had Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale. This match fucked, dude. And
so good.
Mercedes revived Daft Punk for her entrance. Yep. We had a bunch of like a neon cyberpunk marching band come out, and then she comes out in her CEO getup.
Oh, she also came out with a full team of like those Las Vegas feather dancers.
Yeah.
They were also
crazy.
there too.
I was literally in the bathroom while that entrance happened, and I came back, and you're like, "You missed it! Like she revived Daft
Crazy.
Punk."
Yeah.
It was just, it was insane. And like
A Stars entrance.
I have not seen anything from Mercedes in AEW yet.
Well, this
my
was her
first time-
first
Well,
match.
this is her first match.
This is her first match?
Yeah, her debut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Her coming out with I loved her hair when I first saw it,
CEO hair.
because we only saw the front and like sides.
Yeah.
Then I saw the back of her head, and I was like, wait, does the back of her head say CEO?
Yes, it does.
Like,
It's so good.
dude, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, her being adorned in like money and like dollar signs and stuff like that with her ring gear, I think is a really
it's
cool
bigger
touch.
than Sasha Banks ever was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what
like
I mean?
the next level.
It's so over the top. It's so camp. I love it so much.
Willow just had a normal, like, kind of lame entrance. Chris Statlander
Which
came
sucks,
out with
is
her.
like,
yeah.
like you're just like, okay, well, she's gonna lose.
Yeah, right? Like,
I remember being like, too. I was like, did Willow have a cool entrance too? And you were like, no.
yeah,
No.
she just came out in
Willow
like
just-
her normal
yeah.
entrance. And I was like, damn,
man.
that sucks. But they both looked fucking incredible in this match. Like they
had a great
they
match.
fucking put on a banger match.
Sasha Banks, especially, oh my god, Mercedes, like doing moves where she was like lifting up Willow, and like they are not the same size. Willow is much larger and stronger and heavier, and like Sasha was lifting her up for moves and doing all this stuff to her like it was like fucking
Like it was nothing.
Like,
work.
Like it was
Exactly.
crazy. At the end, nothing can just end happily, or like you can't just be like, oh, shake it off, guys. Fucking Chris Statlander turns on Willow Nightingale, which the wonderful internet predicted, because Chris Statlander was like posting pictures of them like all day and like all this stuff. Chris Statlander turns, and it was so funny because like it just kind of happened. So like Mercedes wins, she walks up the ramp, holds up the title, she's like, woo, leaves, and then it just kind of happens. Like Willow's walking up the ramp and Chris is just like, bah!
It's like
Well, first
Willow
what happens-
and her team are in the center of the ring, and like their butler, whoever's accompanying them, like the dude, just starts
Stokely.
Stokely, yeah.
He just starts like berating Willow, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's happening? Like, where is this coming from? It seems very out of nowhere, at least to someone who hasn't been keeping up with the canon. And then her other,
I think it was
I'm
Statlander
blanking her name.
turned on him and shoved him.
Statlander
and
turned
he
on
was
him and shoved him. And then
he was like,
Statlander is helping Willow out of the ring, and like then they just stop. She like takes a friendship bracelet, like the big fucking friendship bracelet or whatever that Willow came out with.
Yeah.
Like just takes it from her and then hits her in the back of the head. And then just goes off up the ramp with the friendship bracelet. It
We're
seems
sad.
very
No
out
more
of
fr-
nowhere.
No more
friends
friends.
that was
Yeah.
that was more of a story than Mercedes winning the championship in my opinion.
Was.
Like
Maybe
I'm not
I have a prediction. Maybe we're gonna get a thing with Chris Statlander and Trent Beretta being a faction now together. The new best friends, best friends
they were in
squared.
Best Friends.
Yeah, they were best friends, and then
Best
that
friends.
whole thing. Chris was like, "What's going on? Why are you doing this?" And now she just turned. So maybe Trent's in her head, and now they're gonna have new best friends. Best friends too.
You know what they're gonna be called?
What?
They're gonna be called the Worst Friends.
Oh my god.
What do we have next? Oh, world title.
Swerve.
Yeah, we had the world title with Swerve and Christian Cage. Christian Cage comes out, and then we got a champion entrance with Swerve. Fucking Prince Nana is coming out with, he's got 4 bottles in his hands, and he's smacking them together. Swerve, come out and play. And then
What
they
is
had
that what's that a reference
This is a
to?
reference.
Warriors,
so
come
good.
out and play.
Hell yeah. Because I knew I recognized it from something, and it was really cool though. We had like a little vignette of Swerve like driving through Vegas, and he was just like,
And they
Like,
showed the
it's fucking go
sphere
time, let's
with
do
the
it.
emoji face, and the sphere went,
yup.
it was so
It
good.
was so cool.
Swerve came out. Nana's back.
Oh,
Proper Swerve entrance.
we got a good
wow, dude.
entrance.
He was
doing the
hitting it.
dance.
He was hitting it.
Oh man,
So good.
I gotta say, not a big fan of Swerve's entrance gear.
his gear has never really been the story. Yeah, I feel like I did like his gear when at Dynasty when he won the championship.
Yeah.
I remember that being cool. Other than that, like I feel like doesn't really have big entrances. He had the guy who did his theme song, I believe, at Wembley, and he came out with them. It's all about Prince Nana.
It
doing the
is.
Prince
dance.
Nana is
It's
phenomenal.
always been about Prince Nana. You know, despite all that, he came out and he put on a banger.
He did put on a
For sure.
banger. So, of course, Swerve comes out with Prince Nana. Christian comes out with the whole patriarchy. You know, the whole crew's there. Mother Wayne, Nick Wayne, Kill Switch. They're all out there. And the whole thing with this match was the ref is just meant to be fucking dumb in this match, right?
Mhm.
So, the patriarchy tricks the ref into ejecting Prince Nana from the arena first. Where are you going? So
He's keeping watch.
Nana's like holding the title, and they were the ref thought that he was like acting up, doing some shit. So they eject Nana, and then the patriarchy gets too close to the sun. They get ejected. All 3 of them. It was an incredible moment. The ref's like, you, and then he does the whole wind up and out of here thing. The whole crowd is singing.
One of my favorite things in wrestling is how hype it is when someone gets ejected that you don't want there.
Yeah.
The ref, always so good at selling it. You're out of here, and everyone's like,
So
"Yeah."
good.
It's so
Like, it's
good.
one of the silliest little things about pro wrestling that I love, and it works every time.
Yeah.
You will never get bored of it.
So then Nick Wayne comes back. He sneaks out, comes back to the ring.
Dirty little Nick Wayne.
Tries to do some shenanigans. He fucking cutters Swerve just literally out of nowhere, does a fucking RKO to Swerve, and then Prince Nana
Hey,
comes out with an iron pipe and chases
And
Nick
then
Wayne out of
chases
the
him out.
arena.
Oh my god, it was so fun to watch, dude. Like it's
So good.
this match definitely felt like it was more about the like factions than it was about the actual match itself,
Yeah.
and which is always kind of nice to see. But I mean, even then, still, it's always nice to see Swerve Strickland absolutely just have his, well, not quite have his way, but just like everything he does looks so dominant.
My favorite part of the match was they were both, him and Christian were running the ropes at like terminal velocity. And then Swerve just at I think after maybe like 4 back and forths past each other, just goes up for the like house call drop kick
Yeah.
on Christian and just annihilates him.
It was a counter to the spear too, because Christian went to go like do a spear.
Right.
That's why he's like flat, and he does the house
I was
call,
gonna
and
say-
Christian just flattens out, dude.
And you usually don't see that him do that move unless like the other person's like down on one knee and like at a level where he can actually reach it. But they like timed it so perfectly. I like jumped in my seat. It was so good. There were so many matches tonight where I was screaming. Normally when I watch these pay-per-views, I'm in my apartment. I'm staying with some dogs. I'm normally at my apartment where I cannot scream. And I was screaming all night at every single match. Dude.
Yeah.
This was such a fun show.
It was
insane.
really good. The way this one ended too, he did a swerve stomp and then another house call, and then of course went over. My question is though, like we've been talking about, is what do they do with Swerve now? How do they make him feel?
How do they keep him up top?
Yeah, because obviously he can perform at the level that he needs to. This match showed that he's fucking an incredible performer.
You know what they need to do?
But what do they do?
You know what they need to do?
Hmm.
Can you guess what I'm gonna say? You know who they need to bring back? They need to bring back Hangman Adam Page.
Okay.
They need to bring back Hangman because that rivalry, they've faced each other fucking like 4 times now. What's another? They're like, I heard in another podcast, they're like those two. They can never have a bad match. They're like those two friends that you'll never get tired of them. Like, I'm trying to think of 2 wrestlers throughout history that just always historically like have good matches. John Cena,
and The
Randy Orton.
Rock.
Yep.
Stone Cold and The Rock.
Yeah,
like,
John Cena, Randy Orton. Even John Cena and Edge too. Their
John
rivalry.
Cena and Edge. Yeah, that one makes more sense. They're like the John Cena and the Edge of like this era, and Hangman likely will come back as a heel because he kind of left on heelish terms where he was just kind of going crazy and I want Swerve to fail. I want him to lose so much. And now he's, there's the opportunity for him to come back and like be this disheveled heel that just is so like, you don't deserve that. I'm going to take it from you. And if not now, then it could happen later, and I could see Hangman even winning the title. But I think that is like something that people want to see, because right now I can't think of anyone else that I'd want to see, like that I can think of off the top of my head that I want to see face Swerve.
Yeah.
That has any sort of like history with him in AEW. Keith Lee, we talked about, right? If Keith Lee ever comes back, that would be fantastic. And then we also get Keith Lee in a world title match, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know the details of that, but they need to keep him on top because he looked really good last night.
And then finally, to wrap up this little bundle of joy, we had the Elite versus Team AEW, Anarchy in the Arena. And what a name for it. It was fucking insane. There was a lot to keep track of.
Welcome to the shit show.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. I actually, I rewatched this match immediately after because I showed Nick. I was like, bro, you gotta fucking watch this shit. And it was, I don't even know where to start, dude. Like,
before everyone could even finish their entrances, before the Elite could even finish their entrances, the Team AEW just came out from the crowd and just started annihilating everyone.
Yeah.
It became immediate anarchy. And then Darby Allin's music hits, and he comes out. He's got the craziest fit going on.
So his mask, I didn't catch it the first time we watched it, but the whole point of his mask was, so he had a broken nose, that was it. But then he also fucking covered the mask in tacks. Which I didn't notice the first time. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
He also had like the Kim Possible pants and
He had a mesh top.
a mesh shirt.
Yeah.
He looked like he was going clubbing in Vienna. I'm not gonna lie.
He
Like
looked
that
crazy,
was,
dude.
He didn't look like he was about to wrestle.
So Darby comes
Yeah.
out, they do, you know, they're fucking all just beating the shit out of each other for a few minutes. And Darby's music is continuously playing. And Galeer, you specifically brought up, you're like, dude, I hate when AEW does this. Like, why is the music playing?
Well, because in wrestling, it's like the music comes on, they come out, and the second a punch is thrown, the music stops.
Yeah.
And they just kept it playing while they were fighting.
But this time they turned it into a bit. So, Nick, one of the fucking Jacksons, I still can't tell the difference.
I think it was Nick.
Nick picks up the mic and he goes, "Turn this shit off. Play some good music, our new theme music." And it plays, and the
They play
chaos
the shitty
continues.
EVP theme song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Bryan Danielson picks up the mic and he goes, "Fuck this shit. Put on the greatest wrestling theme in history." Starts playing the fucking final countdown. The place explodes. And then Darby, as soon as the chorus hits, it goes, "It's the final countdown." And he fucking does a coffin drop from the top of like one of the small entrances. And it was insane. It was right when it dropped.
And he takes
Yeah,
out like what 6-7 dudes
Yeah.
with the coffin drop.
Yeah.
Dude, it was great. And then the song plays for maybe like another 2-3 minutes, and then Matt Jackson gets the mic and he's like, "Turn it off, turn it off. We have to pay like $200,000 every time it plays again. We can't afford this shit, please." And then he turns it off and he's like, "Thank you."
Yeah, so that's the end of the music, but it was such a good bit. Like it was just chaos. It added to the chaos.
They were going all throughout like the crowd. And then there was one point where like Jack Perry takes Darby and they go out to like the like loading area or garage or whatever.
Yeah.
And they just start duking it out there. And there's this giant like pile of like pallets and garbage and like a table.
Before
and-
that though, don't forget to mention that Darby fucking tries to drown Jack Perry in the
That's right, in the
tub
bucket of ice water. Yep.
There's literally drowning him.
There's like one of those like troughs that's just filled with water and ice cubes and like water bottles. And Darby fully grabs Jack Perry and submerges him. Like hands around his neck underwater. Like it's literally just like his hands and feet are like kicking out. He grabs Darby and pushes him off him to stop him from
One of my
literally drowning.
Yeah.
One of my biggest fears is drowning.
Yeah.
And even when you're in that situation, I'm like, how do you communicate? How do you communicate? All right, I actually am drowning.
Like pull me up,
'Cause
bro.
He had him down there for like, he had him in there for a
extended period of time.
extensive period of time.
Yeah. That was crazy.
And like you were saying, he took him over to that like pile of pallets, and all we could think was, oh, pallet fire.
Yeah, I really thought they were gonna light it on fire. Because
Well,
we
we got
had the
pretty
whole
close, didn't we?
we had the whole tease with Darby coming out with a flamethrower on Dynamite, and we were like, oh shit,
Yep.
something's gonna happen with fire. So I was like, oh my god, a pallet fire, and then he gets thrown into it. Apparently it's not that cool, but we did get something fucking crazy later on. But before that happened, fucking Jack Perry chokes out Darby Allin with a pipe at the pallets, like the pile of pallets, and then a few minutes later it cuts back to them and Jack Perry's in a fucking bus. And
Scapegoat bus.
And he runs over the pile, so it's assumed that Darby is in the pile.
Darby gets hit by another bus.
Yeah.
I forget who.
Poor
Someone
guy.
on commentary specifically is like, this is the second time in a month Darby Allin has probably been hit by a bus,
Yeah. It's
which is crazy. Like I love. This is one of the things I love about Jack Perry, is how he will just use literally anything in whatever he's doing,
Yeah.
like to his advantage,
He's
to
learning.
get to provoke a reaction from someone.
Yeah.
Like if you think back to the whole CM Punk incident, when the whole like "that's real glass, bitch" or whatever, like comment,
Yep.
and then him hitting Darby with a bus again, or potentially hitting Darby with a bus again, is crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I
also
love
like where
this
they're
version of
blurring the
Jack Perry.
line. They're blurring the lines, right? Like,
Yeah.
well, we know it's fake, but like they're like bringing that real world aspect because he did get hit by a. It was reported he got hit by a bus in New York like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and as
So.
much as I also used to be like an old school. Like I loved Jungle Express when I first started watching AEW in 2020.
Yeah.
I loved Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. I loved that whole angle. I like what they're both doing now.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing.
I like how what's Luchasaurus now?
Kill switch.
Kill
And
switch.
for some
Kill
reason,
switch.
he's still a dinosaur,
Yeah,
even though he shouldn't be.
Kill switch
yeah,
the
no.
dinosaur.
Kill switch. We were calling him Kill Switchosaurus.
Hey, here's our happy little family. Christian's the dad, Mother Wayne's the mom, Nick Wayne's the son,
Oh, yeah,
and
and
then
the
we also
pet.
This
have a
is their
dinosaur.
pet dinosaur.
Yeah, pet dino.
Yeah.
We get some exchange between like FTR and the Young Bucks, and,
Dude,
and at
FTR
one point,
always goes crazy. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think about like they look older than they are. They're probably like mid to late 30s.
mhm,
I don't know why. Whenever I look at Dax, who's the bald one,
yeah.
I always think he's like a lot older than he is, and he's doing all this crazy shit, and I'm like, how the fuck are you guys doing that? And then I remember they're only like 36.
There was also a spot in this that I really liked where Dax takes one of the Jacksons and just starts like banging him against like the bar,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and then he sees like and then he just sees like a glass of wine and a beer just like chilling on the bar, so he grabs them and stone colds them.
Yeah.
He
Gets
totally just
absolutely-
did not get any.
Absolutely nothing in his mouth.
Yeah.
Like if you watch to the clip, it's literally all over his chest. He maybe got a little bit of the beer in his mouth, but it's also hard to tell from the camera angle that they choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It was just-
so he does that, completely misses, and then he takes the whole fucking trash can and smashes it on him, and the trash just goes everywhere, dude.
I just
All over the place. The poor janitors for that
Nasty.
match.
I hate that.
That's
Like,
so gross.
Like, pay me millions of dollars a year. If you're pouring stadium trash on me, I'm gonna yak. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nasty.
like it was something else.
So
And then
it was
just
really,
total chaos, total anarchy, if you will.
yeah.
We had, you know, they're doing stuff on the poker chips, right? They crack one of them. We get a TK driver to Danielson on one of them. Dax goes through one, breaks one, and then we had Jack Perry emerge from the back. Well, we had Darby emerge from the back first, who looked like a fucking zombie because he just got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's fine.
Yeah, totally fine. Whatever. Not a big deal.
He then the Young Bucks then start beating the shit out of Darby because of course. And then they throw him down the fucking elevator.
Yep. Yeah, so they drag him up the ramp and the screen opens. They put him on the elevator and he gets lowered in. And oh my
Was that
god.
before or after
It was
the
before.
thing with
Which thing?
This was
Which thing?
the him hanging?
Oh yeah, it's before that.
This was before, well before.
This was before
that.
that?
Was the end
So
of the
this
night.
is
I don't even
before
know
the
the order of everything.
flamethrower bit.
So
So much shit happened.
Yeah.
So they drag him back.
Yeah.
Jack Perry comes out of nowhere, covered in goop.
Yep.
up.
By the way, very obviously covered in
Why is he greased
like,
up?
flame gel.
Literally, but like
it is the
like, I
second
can't
he,
even,
he
like,
rounds the corner, it's immediately like, why is he so fucking shiny?
oh, yeah.
Why is he so
yeah,
shiny?
I know, and so I'm
And
trying
then
to
he
think.
just-
I'm like, he crashed, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
But like, how did he get so goopy?
Exactly. What did the? He's just covered in. Literally, it just looks like he's covered in goop.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can describe him.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious. Like, oh fuck, they're probably gonna
There's
light
a
him on fire.
spot.
There's gonna be a fire spot later, and Anyway, but that doesn't matter because Goop Boy then goes up to Tony Khan at his little like producer's booth or whatever and just starts beating the fuck out of Tony Khan.
Yeah, and he grabs him and he walks with him to the entrance, grabs him, goes out there, and then you see Darby come out of the other tunnel with a flamethrower. Jack Perry like throws Tony Khan, and then Darby lights him on fire. And you know, he's fucking lit up. Galeer, did you see the clip I sent you of Tony rolling down the ramp like a fucking clown?
So dramatic. I really wanted Tony to have more of a role, and I understand I don't think he wants to, as much as we talk about it, I don't think he wants to have that much of a role on screen, which is fine. But I thought we were gonna have him like do some kind of punch, even get a little revenge on Jack Perry, just punch him in the gut. Even though we know
he just
a
rolls
Tony
down
Khan
the
punch
ramp
isn't
like
going to
a
do any
stack of
damage.
potatoes.
Real quick, I saw the tweet. It's CM Punk looking at his phone and he's like all like tired and he's staring at his phone. And then the other picture is just Jack Perry on fire.
Yeah, so good.
I don't think CM Punk would have approved of this.
I don't think so.
Oh no.
And then somehow it fucking got crazier. Oh, I forgot to mention something earlier in the match. We had Okada hold up a sign and he goes, "This is Rainmaker Drive," and then he runs down and fucking jumps over the barricade into Danielson. Okada was so funny in this match.
I love him. How far in? Are we at the point where he used the sleeve with tacks on it for the Rainmaker?
So that's what's next.
Yep.
That's like the next part.
Yeah.
Also, the match is just under 30 minutes, which is kind of wild because it felt like an hour.
Oh my god.
It felt so long. There was so much shit happening.
Everyone's getting the shit kicked out of them. They kind of move back towards the ring. Okada pulls out a sleeve with tacks in it, and he does the Rainmaker on Danielson, I think it was, or was it?
Yeah.
Someone else. Okay, so he.
No. It was Cash.
Oh yeah, it was Cash. You're right. Yeah. So he does it on Cash, and then he takes that off, and then Danielson. When were the yes kicks? Before or after? Oh, it was after. It was when Darby was already hanging. Anyway, what this leads to is they fucking get Darby in the ring and they pull out a rope and they wrap him up in the rope and attach him. So Matt and Nick are like, all right, bring it down. And they bring down a fucking hook. They attach Darby to this and Darby gets fucking hung by his legs from the ceiling. He was there for a long time.
From this point until the end of the match.
Yeah.
And this is maybe like a good... He's hanging there for probably like a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And not only is he just hanging there, but then they go under the ring and they bring out a pair of those like Reebok pumps or whatever.
The new Reebok pumps now available.
Reebok pumps now available with a bunch of tacks on like the toe. And each of the Young Bucks put on like the left or the right shoe, respectively. And then they just fucking nail Darby in the forehead.
I would also like to say we got another incredible bit from Okada where he pulls him out of the ring and he goes, "Wear these!"
He does! He does!
Good.
Oh my god, I forgot about that! I totally forgot about that! He's
so
like
good.
Santa. He just gifts these out.
He was just so like happy and funny the whole match. Like, think about it. You're having absolute chaos happen around you and he goes, "Ah!" Like, he's just this happy dude the whole time. Like,
it's
so funny.
It's such a good gimmick.
So yeah, anyway, go ahead about the Reebok pumps.
So anyway, the Reebok Pump Maxes, the Young Bucks put it on, and then they hit a V-trigger on Darby Allin and potentially blind the motherfucker as he's hanging upside down.
Yeah.
And he is just, like, dangling from the roof, profusely bleeding from his forehead. His protective mask is long gone at this point. And he is just... He's just hanging there like a cow that has just been slaughtered. and is waiting to go to the butcher. Like, that's the only way I can describe it, because he is just like limp and just like unconscious, like on the
Literally
border
for
of
5
unconscious.
minutes. Like
it was the most insane thing. And at a couple points too, we also get the crowd chanting, like, let down
please help
Darby or something
Darby.
like
Yeah,
that.
there was some
Please help Darby chants.
Yeah.
And he's just, it's just insane. Because after that V-trigger, they don't do anything with Darby for the rest of the fucking match.
He's just hanging.
there.
Yeah.
Like, I know I haven't like talked about a lot throughout this fucking podcast, except for the insane shit. But like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
let the man down.
Yeah. So as he's hanging there, we get more things happening. Like, and there were like big moments too. Like we had Bryan Danielson do like yes kicks between both Jacksons, just fucking hitting them. And then we had an exploding chair. Like,
oh my god.
I didn't even
I
think
forgot
of
about
that.
the chair. I was so preoccupied with fucking Darby.
yeah, because he's just hanging there. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
And no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
That's the best thing, is the commentary are completely ignoring the fact that Darby Allin is hanging from the fucking roof.
And then I think in probably the biggest twist for us in the night, because we truly predicted the opposite, was the Elite fucking wins. They win the
Yeah.
match. And we really thought that Team AEW was going to win. And, you know.
We thought we were gonna have like a nice good ending, like a nice heartfelt dudes rock moment. But,
yeah. But we
I
don't
mean,
get
dudes
that.
definitely rock during the
No,
match.
for sure.
The
Like-
theme of the match was Dudes Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the elite comes out on top, and yeah, I don't know where it goes from here.
I don't know either. How now that we have Tony Khan back, do we just kind of do they
Maybe-
put it back
maybe
on the
some
back
things are gonna
burner?
change
Does something
around here.
happen?
Well, they can just punch him in the gut again. Then he'll be give him a
Out
TK
for
driver.
6
he'll be gone
weeks.
for another month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He'll show
I
up
don't
at the
know.
next Jaguars event with a collar on again,
Yeah.
with like a neck brace.
I want Dynamite to come.
Dynamite's
you know?
gonna be damn good, dude.
You better be.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a good
insane.
one.
That's always the great thing about after these pay-per-views is Dynamite is
They do a really good job at picking up right from the pay-per-view. Whether or not that, you know, leads to some good stuff or they kind of fumble it, the episode after is always
Yep.
solid.
Yeah, we'll see. And again, this is going to be a tough pay-per-view to follow, I think. We have Forbidden Door is, I presume, Forbidden Door is the next
That's
one,
next, yeah.
a month from now. So we'll see what happens. I've never been crazy about Forbidden Door.
I haven't either.
And I think I loved it the first time. I didn't know it was going to become a regular thing. So when it was the first time, I was like, oh, hell yeah, a crossover event. But now that it's every year, it's not bad. It's just like, to me, it's almost kind of like Survivor Series where they would do like the champion versus champion matches.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a little different because usually they put titles on the line, which is cool. But like, it feels similar to that way where I'm like, this just feels like a detour. Like,
It's just a pay-per-view to have a pay-per-view.
and I could be wrong. Last year we had Ospreay versus Kenny Omega, which was like a fucking insane match, and people.
The interesting thing too
Yeah.
now is like you have Forbidden Door and you have Wrestle Dream, which they also kind of pitched Wrestle Dream as another not full crossover event, but at least the first Wrestle Dream was literally a tribute. Like it was
It
meant
was
to be a tribute
to,
show.
Antonio Inoki,
Right. So
and
it's kind of like, and they had a ton of NJPW talent on that show. So it's like you have two
Right.
now. So I don't know. It almost is like, because Wrestle Dream seemed bigger than Forbidden Door last year. Like it just seemed like a better pay-per-view. Also, we got,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help that we got fucking Adam Copeland's debut at Wrestle Dream. So
Yeah.
it is what
we
it
were
is,
kind of
but-
doubting. We weren't sure it was going to happen too.
Right.
So.
But you know, we'll see how Forbidden Door goes. But it might feel a little lackluster compared to Double or Nothing.
Let's see what they do.
Yeah.
You know, I won't. You know, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So,
We are.
Yeah,
we're always gonna watch it.
we're gonna
We are.
watch it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
We're
it's
gonna watch
fine.
it.
Pay-per-view.
How long is this? How long have we been going?
Hour and a half.
Holy
Oh, we did a
shit.
real podcast episode, boys.
Longest one ever, baby. I love the like juxtaposition between this and the King and Queen of the Ring one, because the King and Queen of the Ring one was like 33 minutes or
matches.
something. 5 matches. We barely.
Genuinely, so much shit happened last night.
Yeah.
It was.
And they do it every
It was
time.
an absolute, like, end to end. This is what I love about AEW pay-per-views, is that they just try to pack it with as much as they possibly can.
You certainly get your money's worth.
Yeah,
like,
it's
Good
where-
and bad.
Like with WWE, it feels like they have certain pay-per-views that they're only having to fill obligations.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, like I'm not gonna like War Games is fun, but like every couple War Games is like, okay, we did do War Games.
Yeah, it depends on who's in it, I think. Like
Yeah.
I get that though. Like AEW again, they fill their shows and it's like the good and a bad thing. Like
Mhm.
it's good because like yes, Tony Khan, please do more cocaine. That's another thing. We got that huge announcement about the Owen Cup. The winners of the Owen Cup get a world title shot at Wembley Stadium
Yeah.
in August.
Which is going to be
Yeah,
fucking
so-
massive. Like, that'll be really good.
Yeah, it's
But
gonna
yeah,
be
anyway,
huge.
Tony coming out looked.
Yeah.
I can't get over how he was buzzing, dude.
He had his arm. He was trying to like have his arm around both Martha Hart and Renee, and he was just kind of like
Yeah.
he
Ah,
looked
he was-
he was tweaking. And look,
Yeah.
he might just be a nervous guy. Who did we
Allegedly.
confirm that Tony Khan is like coked up? Or did we just assume that because he would book these crazy?
We're
fucking
assuming
shows?
that because he has crazy shows and he's rich.
I want to see Shad Khan on TV more. I liked that little. taste
That
we
was
got
fun.
of
He
his
came
dad.
out and he was
I
like,
forgot.
That's great.
You ever did you see those memes and it was like, wait, Luke Perry's son did this? Luke Perry from 90210?
good show, just
Good show.
like this podcast.
Just like this podcast and like most good things, they're all
come to
having
an end.
and come to an end.
Yeah. Gamers, thank you for joining us. This was fucking crazy. WuuRmY, thank you for being our first special guest ever.
Thanks for.
And
thanks
he's
for
a
letting
wrestler,
me-
technically.
It's
I am
true.
technically a wrestler.
For
Yeah, that's
real.
right.
Former Galeer Championship Wrestling World Champion. And
Yeah.
I have to specifically say Galeer Championship Wrestling, I think now, because otherwise people will think I'm talking about Game Changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we don't care about
But yeah.
them.
No.
We only care about
Virtual
Galeer.
Me is.
Dude, I saw the other day, real quick, I saw something the other day that Dan Housen won the GCW World Championship, like,
I
for
love
like
Dan
2
Housen.
minutes.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And like,
shit.
I saw a picture of him holding it up, and I was like, I gotta find this out. And he won it for like a few minutes until someone won
shit.
it back or something.
Huh.
I love me some
Now, if we
Dan
covered
Housen.
those shows, that would be wild, but
Yeah.
we don't have time for that.
No, we don't. But yeah, so wrapping things up, thank you guys for the support over the weekend. This was it's been
Dude.
insane.
We just hit 100 subs on YouTube. We're getting people in the comments on our TikToks arguing about things that have nothing to do with wrestling.
Spotify, everything is doing very well right now. So thank you guys for watching and sharing and all that stuff. It's been very fun just talking about wrestling and yeah, doing this stuff. Starting next week, back to normal episodes. We have our
We're back
These
in the
were-
car.
back in the car, baby. These were our special little reaction video episodes. We might do some more in the future. But right now we were, doing this and it's been fun. It's been good stuff. So
Yeah, it's been gaming.
back in the
Yeah,
car.
podcast.
Beep beep. Right? Am I
Yeah,
right?
get
Beep,
back in
beep.
the car, little boy. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, get in
Yeah.
the trunk, or I'm gonna shove you in the trunk and shut it, and you're gonna be stuck in the
Oh,
car.
I,
And don't forget to shove your friend in the trunk next time you listen to this show.
Put your drop kick your friend in the trunk and
you
And hang him
specifically
from the ceiling.
You.
I do
you.
this a lot, and like in real life, and it's really embarrassing. Like
point.
I will get caught pointing, and people will be
Like
like,
one of these-
"Stop that!"
Stop pointing.
But I don't. I do it. I'm not mean. I promise.
I'm gonna
gonna-
And you're not mean
gonna
either because you
point
keep
you.
listening
You're
to the
not mean.
podcast.
I'll
Okay.
make
Bye,
keep pointing at you
everybody.
until you
Thanks,
get
guys.
uncomfortable.
Thanks, everybody.
I know where you
Thanks,
live.
everybody. Thank
guys.
you.
36 days.
Rapidly
Thanks,
approaching.
guys.